here? Amazing. So hello, everyone, and welcome. For those who don't know me, I'm Mel Goodwin, Ruby, business partner and International Advisory Council member. I have been with Q now coming up 5 years. Crazy how time flies when you're having fun, right? And I don't think I've ever been this excited, right? It's in the history of Q so far. But I'm not going to talk about me much today. I'm actually going to turn the time over to my brother from another mother. I actually worked out today, we've been in business together for 10 years, right? And that's just wild. And, you know, I often talk about him on Zooms as you do and with other people. And to be honest, I wouldn't be the mother, the business partner, the wife I am today without the mentorship and the guidance of this gentleman. You know, there's many a times where I'll message him for advice or pick up the phone for advice. And guys, honestly, the advice that he's always given me is from the heart. And this is really, really crucial when you're looking and you follow mentors, right? Because he has been through the experience himself. So he knows how to deal with us and give advice on that certain situation, right? And that's what I love about a mentor. So I'm so excited. You guys know him. You know he's the master distributor of our incredible company. He's done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of $1 million in sales. To me, he is the mentor, the king of network marketing. And I'm super excited to introduce you to my sponsor, my brother, Mr. Brandon Stevens. Over to you, sir. I'm so excited for you to talk to the team today.
I feel like I should give my topic away at conference on edification. You know what I mean? Thank you so much. It's an honor and privilege to be on the call with each and every one of you today. And thank you so much for all the kind words you just said, Mel. I really appreciate it. But I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't think I could even have the status of a king without the queen herself, Miss Marielle, and what she's been able to accomplish and everything else. So she makes me look a lot better than what I really am. So thank you, Marielle. I know she's going to be sharing a few words here shortly on the call. It's really cool to be able to align yourself with such an amazing group of individuals like yourself. And I remember the first time I was looking at a few pictures when me and Marielle were looking at Q. I wasn't even in the business yet. And we were looking at Q and we were seeing the vision of what Q was to come to be. And if we would have told you what 5.5 years would have looked like, looking at from a bird's eye to what Q used to like, you wouldn't even believe us. It was an office probably less than 3,000 square foot. It was the ugliest probably office I've ever seen in the network marketing history. But we believed in what Jake and Mark were speaking into us, and we saw the vision of where they're going. And we really didn't know where to start or what to do on the direction of building this brand, because the products were amazing, but the branding was ugly. It was a new comp plan. We really didn't even know if it really worked or not, but it sounded really great because it was set pay and it's never been done before. We love the simplicity of everything it is. And I'm looking across the table at Marielle and I'm just like, do we do this? Do we do this? And because it was like if she didn't do this, I was going to join her, whatever she was doing. Like I was like, this has got to be a partnership. We're doing whatever it is. And I remember coming back and we're like, well, let's just think about doing this. And then I go back to the conference room and Marielle's taking all the products and she didn't even leave me any of the products. But it was just an amazing experience to look back where we were doing 9 million annually in sales before me and Marielle came on board with Q Sciences. And now we're doing over 100 million in sales annually. Are we a perfect company? Absolutely not. But we do things the right way. And every single year, We might face challenges and obstacles and everything else, but one thing that I love about Mark and Jake, they just own their shit. They don't lie about it. So even when things are not going our way, they'll tell us. And so in business, it's not always going to be pretty. It's not always going to go our way. But I've realized instead of wondering and pondering sometimes you just got to start to be great. You don't have to be great to start. You just got to stick to the everyday activities that bring in the revenue and income of sharing this amazing opportunity with people. I had a great call with a young lady today, and she was in and out about coming to conference. And she's like, I've been to every conference, but it's a weird time in network marketing right now. I don't know if I should go. And I was like, you need to be there. Well, I really don't have anybody on my team there. That's why you need to be there even more. And after the end of the call, after 30 minutes of talking, she's like, that's what I needed. And I was like, I don't think we really understand how powerful we really are. We're so tough on ourselves, and we talk ourselves out of so many opportunities because our reality, we keep ourselves from achieving greater things. Like the last 4.5 years has been a struggle for me. I hit diamond in 1 year. Diamond 1 year. And 4 years, I was struggling and not being able to rank up. And you're probably, oh, poor Brandon, he's still doing really well. Yes, I'm still cashing a nice check. I'm not going to lie. It's really great. But mentally, staying at the same rank for 4 years can really take a toll on somebody. But I said, you know what? This is not my season to win. This is not, oh my gosh, like you're going to see Marielle walk the stage with a huge check this next week, like in 2 weeks. And that makes me excited. I'm going to see multiple other people walk the stage with huge checks. My check is not as big as everybody else's check. There's been people that's joined the business 2 years, 3 years later than me that are cashing bigger checks than me. So I come to realize it's not my season to win, but I'm going to stay the course. I'm just going through the bad chapters right now, and I'm going to go through them as fast as I can. I'm just going to go read through them as fast as I can, because eventually I'll get to the chapters where I am winning big, because I'm going to stay the course, because the law of attraction, something will eventually give if you put enough pressure on it. And so I'm going to see out through my commitments, even when the mood has already left me. There's times where I'm like, why am I doing this? Oh my gosh, what am I doing wrong? Am I saying all the wrong things? No, I just got to keep staying the course. What I lack in skills, I'll make up in numbers. I will outwork anybody I possibly can to get the results. But every time I do a presentation, I get better. Every time I do a launch, I get better. See, the reason why you see some of the council members and some of the individuals, when you hear Miss Mary L speaking a little bit, I know she's a lot prettier to look at than me, but when you hear her speak, there's a reason why she's so sharp. There's a reason why she's so good with words and how she can empower and move people, and any of the council members themselves, is because they're in the trenches every single day. And that's when you're the sharpest, is when you're doing the daily activities. I can tell from an outside looking in who's doing the daily activities, because you can tell how sharp their skill set is. It just comes naturally. I don't feel comfortable doing a presentation. I don't have leadership in my marketplace. I don't have leaders that can get together. Well, Marielle doesn't, I don't, but we always get creative and find a way to just keep sharing and keep sharing and keep sharing. Well, how do you sell so much? We don't. We just keep sharing. We keep sharing. Right now, it's such a huge moment in our company right now, coming up to conference, where you're going to see some amazing products get launched at this convention, with things that essentially that people have to, like, people don't, well, I would say some people need to have it because their teeth are yellow, and that's okay too as well. But the fact is, we're going to have teeth whitening, toothpaste. There's all kinds of essentials of home appliances that people use on a daily basis. This is the game changer. The compressions that people are getting on social media right now from making these posts, oh my gosh, it's amazing. If you want to get some great ideas like bargain bins, go look at Miss Marielle's storyline right now. She's getting great content out. And I'm going to be honest with you. You know what I do? I take that same content and post it. The biggest cheat code is just copying off your council members. That's what I love about this business. But there is going to be times where you're like, well, Brandon, you said you don't have to be great to start. You just got to start to be great. Okay, when will I have my breakthrough moment? When will I reach success? What if that success doesn't come? It won't come if you quit. It won't never come if you don't stay the course. It will never not come. My first 2 years in this industry, I made $13 on the first 90 days overall as well. My first 2 years was just practice, but my first 90 days, $13. My first residual check, because there's a $2 check fee. It was supposed to be $15, but they took $2 out. And I got a $13 check, 90 days. But my mentor said, be here 10 years from now. My mentor said 10 years. And I said, I don't imagine making less than $50 a year because that was $13 in 90 days. But I trusted him. I believed in him. I'm telling you right now, in the next 10 years, watch what happens with Q Sciences. Watch with some of the things that we're going to do. We're not perfect, but we're doing things the right way. We have owners that are transparent, owners that tell the truth and not tell you what you need to hear, but not what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. That's what I love about this, is the transparency. That's the reason why I'm still here. I'm sure it's the same way Marielle's still here too as well, because we've both gone through emotional roller coasters. We both had ups and downs. We're not perfect either, but we stay committed to our commitments even when the mood has already left us. Whatever your commitment, whatever your goal is, see it through, and eventually it shall pass, the troubling times, but the good times will appear. And because diamonds are made under pressure, they're made under heat. They're not made over easy times. Like, easy times create weak people. Hard times create strong people. You got to go through the strong times to develop the right mindset, develop the right culture, the right leadership. If everything was easy, then it wouldn't be worth it. See, the great thing about the last 4 years of my life, it's built a lot of things for me. Be more patient. I've actually cherished more moments with my family. I go on more date nights now. There's been a combination of the 5 F's that kept me intact. If it wasn't for the 5 F's, to be honest with you, I probably would have left Q. Yes, I would have left Q because I was broken before I joined Q, because I didn't realize that I was part of MLM instead of business leadership. I was doing the scare tactics, misleading, manipulating people. Oh, you see a little Lambo. Say hi, Bubba. Say hi. Go play real quick. We're at my sister-in-law's and my brother-in-law's house. Mason has a football tournament this weekend in Dallas. But I was broken. And what do you mean broken, Brandon? I was building this like an MLM. If you not notice, there's been people come into Q, in less than 90 days, they're out of Q. Because they literally teach MLM leadership. They run the business like an MLM. And MLMers don't last here. You got to think long term. MLMers make decisions off their emotional state and their current state where they're at right now, not the beneficial of their team long term. They're always about their self and their income. If you notice, 80% of our income is at the top 5, is the lower 5 ranks. Sorry, you see my kids, my crazy little Asian kids over here. But that's the thing. 80% of our income is at the lower ranks. It's not about the upper ranks, because we all know it's about fueling the little people. That's what fuels the big time. But you never get to big time if you don't stay the course. So what's so important about the 5S? Faith. I started to believe in myself a little bit more. I started not to tell you what belief or Christianity you should go down towards or direct you in a certain direction, but I started attending my local church a lot more. I started getting involved in more in my community. And it made me a better person, mentally, physically, spiritually, as a leader, as a leader in my household. And it gave me faith in myself again. Family. If you not notice, I don't know if any of y'all follow me, I have 4 generations that live on my ranch. I take care of my grandmother, my uncle and my uncle and my aunts were trying to put her in a home. I said, no. Come live with me, come spend your last years with me. Why? It's because I wouldn't want anybody to put me in a home. I want to keep my unit together. We're supposed to love each other and keep each other together. That's how I treat my Q family. This is my family. I'm going to go to bat for you every step of the way. I've never said no to somebody that asked for help. It never matters if it's beneficial to me in my pay leg or not. I'm always here to help, because you never know, that non-pay leg might be a pay leg for you in the future. You just never know. And it's always there to build relationships. Friends, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't recruit everybody. I don't recruit because there's some people I just don't want in my business. If you had a business, let's say you had a taco shop. I love tacos. That's why I said taco shop. You know what's on my mind right now, tacos. But what if I run in a taco shop? I'm not just going to hire everybody that puts an application in. I'm gonna actually go through the applications and pre-qualify people, because some people spend time with people that don't even deserve your time. And that takes time away from your family. That takes time away from leaders that really deserve your time. And I've wasted years and years with people that didn't respect it. And I look back and I'm like, dang, I could have been at a soccer game. I could have been at a football game. I could have been spending the week with my kids. Or I'm flying out to a market and they hardly are making any calls. Well, I don't feel comfortable reaching out to that person. Or no, that person won't be interested. Like when I have Mr. Jake Spencer or any of the council members go into a market, I talk to everybody, because I want to pack that room. I want to get as many people in front of them on that call or that presentation or whatever it may be. Like I want to utilize the tools as much as possible. Fitness. Why is fitness so key? We're in a health and wellness company. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. I love tacos. I love hamburgers. I love fast food. Like, I love all that stuff. But when I eat healthy, I lean out a lot better. And I have more energy, and I'm a prime example of our products. Like, you should have a testimony on fitness. You should check in at a gym. You should post pictures of you working out. Like, and like, well, I don't feel comfortable with my body. That's okay. But there's other people that don't feel comfortable with their body, and you can be an inspiration to them to get out there and get moving, walking, jogging, push-ups, body squats. It doesn't matter as long as you're doing some daily activity every single day. And more importantly, our finances. Why is finances so key? Well, I've seen a lot of people in this industry make a lot of money and they have nothing to show for it. Have you actually reached out to our FFM program? Have you really put a business plan together and our savings program together? Some have, some won't. But you know what's so crazy? People feel more comfortable talking about their sex relationship with their spouse to random people more than they actually like rather talk about their finances. People are that scared. It's like people rather catch on fire than get in front of a room and talk. That's the same scenario. People rather not even talk about their finances. They think the solution is making more money. It's not. I had this conversation with the leader actually yesterday, or a mid-level leader. She was like, man, like my finances are tough and everything else. I was like, well, what can you cut back? What can you, sometimes you have to have a setback for your comeback. And it's so funny is because when I made the transition to Q, I literally bought a pickup truck for $28,000. I still have that truck to this day. It's a Ford STX F-150. And it has over 100,000 miles on it, and I still drive it to this day. And I have people that make way less money than me that has vehicles that are 4 times the amount of money minus. I don't have no ego. Me having a fancy car or me having a fancy truck is not going to help me recruit. I want to attract people for the right reasons, not the wrong reasons. Do you have to have a big house? No, I sold my house in Arlington, Texas, and Mel probably remembers this. It was a big white house, and it was amazing. We had a pond in our backyard and everything else. I had Hugh Darvish, Josh Hamilton, Major League Baseball players right next door to me. And I did not want to get rid of that house. And I lowered my house to $425,000, half the size, and it was a checkup from the neck up. I dropped my ego, and I started putting a plan in place. I was literally being able to put my finances. So when I went up here and I dropped right back down here, I was still able to afford everything because I was living below my means. I was living off the 33% rule. 33% of my income goes to my lifestyle. 33% goes into investing. 33% goes into my savings for taxes. Like I was constantly putting money back. Most of us live off 60, 70% of our income. And it stresses us out on a daily basis. Do I want a bigger ranch? Absolutely. But does it meet the requirement of my ranch? No. So I can't get a bigger ranch. I can't get a bigger house right now because it falls in that 33% bracket. See, how are you treating your finances? Because that's just as important, because your team's going to duplicate good or bad, whatever you do. So if you're poor with your finances, your team will duplicate that same process. Stick to the 5S. Follow the 5S. Live the 5S. I'm not saying blast it all over your social media platform, but show it on your storyline, checking at the gym, being around in your community, spending time with your spouse, spending time with your kids and your friends and doing activities, doing things with your team. Are you sold out in Q? Or are you just curious about Q? Because people can see it. When you're so sold out and your vision's so clear, people will follow strength, not weakness. I see people that are all in, and then some people that are just tippy-toeing. You got to jump in even when it's scary. That's the time to jump in, because at the end of the day, I've had people join me from literally, like, I just got a guy that just joined that's been watching me for 9 years. Me and him, his brother, were literally working out of the Dallas office together. And I've been trying to recruit this person for a very long time, but the timing was never right. Miss Marielle Philippone, literally, the timing wasn't right the first 2 or 3 years we knew each other, but the timing was right when I gave her a call to come check out Q. You got to be sold out. You got to be all in. You got to show people that you're in it to win it. Not to here to prove our haters wrong, but to prove the people that believe in you they're right. Let's focus on the right things, and let's share this amazing product with everybody we possibly can. Because if I'm in it to win it, Marielle's in it to win it, you should be in it to win it too as well. We're collectively doing this together, guys. This is a team. Together, everyone achieves more, and we can do some amazing things together when you put your mind to it. But the thing that's going to talk you out of it is the 6 inches between your ears. Yourself. You're your biggest critic. So what type of affirmations are you telling yourself on a daily basis? Are you telling myself, I'll never be a crown diamond, or I'll never be a platinum, or I'll never be a gold, or I'll never be executive? You're right. You never will be with that type of mindset and that attitude and that affirmation that you're telling yourself on a daily basis. I tell myself I'm going to be a better husband. I tell myself I'm going to be a better father. I tell myself I'm going to be a crown diamond. I tell myself I'm going to help more people hit executive. I tell myself that I'm going to do so many calls a day. I tell myself I'm going to reach out to so many people in a day. And then I apply that information on a daily basis. Am I perfect? No. Do I mess up in my calls? Yes. Do I misword some things occasionally? Yes. But people vibe off my energy, enthusiasm, excitement. People will not remember literally 7% of this information that I'm sharing today and Marielle, unless you go back and take notes and you talk about it and you rewatch and rewatch and rewatch it. Your brain can only attain so much, but you will remember this call from how you felt when you left the call. See, people don't remember what you say or what you do, but they'll always remember how you made them feel. How are you making your audience feel? Is it just another number? Is it just another product sale? Is it just another ambassador? Are you reaching for the hand, or are you reaching for the heart? Because people do not know how much you care until you show them how much you care. I want to see each and every one of you at conference. And if you can't, do everything you possibly can to be there. I promise you, it will change the trajectory of your business for the next 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. And you're going to look back at some of these announcements that are life-changing announcements that's going to take you to the next level. I guarantee you this. I've seen the topics. I've seen some of the rollouts. I'm telling you right now, I'm more fired up than I've ever been fired up in my entire life. And I'm telling you right now, you better be on that live call on Monday when Jake Spencer rolls out the announcements of some of the new packs and sponsor bonuses that are coming out. You're going to be blown away. He just sent me a text because I was talking about certain packs and putting stuff together. He says, I got a treat for you, Brandon. I'm putting this out on Monday. Get ready. And I was like, oh, snap. This is going to help us slingshot into conference to get new promotions and new rank ups and more people walking the stage. I was like, this is a game changer, Jake. Like, dude, I'm fired up. So I don't want to talk anymore because the individual that I want to bring up makes a lot more money than me. And she is amazing. And she's really, honestly, probably roughly about 70, 80% of the entire company. She is amazing. And what she's been able to accomplish in her years of this industry is just mind-blowing, in my personal opinion. If she hasn't hit the milestone of 8 figures in this industry in the last 10 years, she's pretty dang close. I tell you that, because she's done some amazing things. She's not only done it once, she's done it multiple times in this industry where she's climbed to the top. She's been able to help thousands and thousands of people literally make 5 figures. to be able to create hundreds of people six figures, and literally tons of people that are part of her team on the advisor council, equity council, customer council too as well. That's very inspiring and motivating too as well, to me, to level up and to go to new heights. I'm telling you right now, if you have the opportunity to work with this young lady, do not take it for granted, because she literally has tons and thousands of people on her team that would die for her attention, die to be on a call like this with her, to be able to get personal mentorship. So hopefully you have a piece of paper and pen. If you don't, please go grab one, because when she speaks, it's literally just the next level. I always learn something from her, and she's not even above me. She's directly a straight business partner with me. And literally, I take them golden nuggets every single time she speaks, and I apply it, and something great always happens every single time. So not only she's a black diamond, I know that's a temporary rake right now. She's gonna surpass that very quickly and very soon. I know she has a lot of great things in the works, but she's also advisory council member, where she makes decisions on the behalf of the company. And she's made a lot of the compensation plan decisions too as well, and some of the products. The company itself thinks so highly of her. I want y'all to show the respect that everybody else does in the company, and actually pay attention, take notes, and watch what's about to happen next. Miss Marielle Filipponi, are you there, ma'am?
Oh my goodness. Who are you talking about? Dear Lord, I'm sweating over here. That's called edification, folks. I'm sure he believes most of what he just said. I'm kidding. Thank you, brother. That means a lot to me. We both have worked really hard, arm in arm, for this and for so much more. And we saw Q, years ago as it was. I was joking when Brandon was talking about what the marketing looked like. Like, we had to sell this. I don't know if this right here, you guys, this is the most disgusting tasting. I don't even know exactly what's in it. It tastes like trees that vomited and then ran into a bush that was being rained on as deer were pissing on it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, and I still have some, and there's still some in here to have you realize the bigger vision Brandon and I had, and why we are still here, and why we even chose to come to a company that we had to move these. Okay. And Brandon kind of touched upon it earlier. I believe in this industry, it's not lost on me just how important it is to have honest, good people running the company at the top of the company, that don't just give you fluff and don't try to have you. I try not to ever say anything bad about my previous experiences in business, but I literally had owner of a company tell me, go spin the story to your team. And that's when I knew I couldn't sleep at night. I couldn't continue. I had spent blood, sweat, and tears and years building somewhere else. Oops, sorry. Supposed to get on another Zoom, I guess. Just kidding. But I'll be late to that one. I really want to be here and spend time with y'all. And that to me right there was a direct reflection on the exact opposite of what I didn't want to be a part of any longer. And in the 5 years plus that Brandon and I have been here over 5 years, goodness, that has never been something that Mark and Jake would ever say. It's always been, if it's not quintessential, we can't bring it forward. We can't discuss it. We can't even have it be an option. The compensation plan for sure was mind blowing to me. I mean, I looked at that and I couldn't sleep at night, and I kept thinking about it, because there's one thing to, be in this industry and to have some success but unfortunately, when other people aren't necessarily experiencing success, and I don't mean the highest levels of success that the comp plan offers, I just mean where they need to, reach a place that they need to, make for their family to provide, right? When that smallest bit sometimes. It might not be small to families that need a couple $100 extra. It's the world to families sometimes, even though it might seem like a smaller amount. That's what I got in this industry for. You know, I already owned businesses. I actually had successful businesses. I just wasn't able to help people or make much of an impact, truthfully. So when I got a taste of what this industry could do in terms of helping other people, oh man, I am just so hungry for that to this day. Like, that's what fires me up. That's what lights me up, truthfully. It's nice to be recognized. It's nice to have nice things said about me. I'm sure getting teary-eyed thinking about the 5 years we've spent together, knowing the story behind the story of Mel and Abby. And it brings me emotional tears because we've climbed this hill over and over together, but we've been honest with each other, and we've been patient, and we've been forgiving, and we've given grace, and the company has with us as well. So to me, it's one of those really neat, I just truly don't believe that any other company in this industry truly has, sorry. Normally I'm very happy, and you guys know that. I just don't believe any other company truly has this combination of what the greater vision is for Q. I've always wanted to make an impact with people's health. That's very apparent. People like Kayla and Amy that have come on board are very passionate about fitness. It's apparent that you can only be so passionate about fitness, but when you get to inspire others to hopefully make life changes and health and wellness changes that are improvements in their lives, that's impactful. You're put on this earth, I believe, to make a difference in other people's lives, And so when I knew that Mark and Jake were never going to embarrass us with, subpar ingredients, people might complain that prices are higher, right? People might complain. There's always objections. Even if you were to cut the prices down to $10, there'll still be someone that's objecting, but the quality control, the quality assurance is not going to embarrass us, embarrass our network. I see a lot of things. I've been in business for 20 plus years. I've seen a lot of things come and go. I've seen the quick money grabs. There's a couple happening right now where you see people going after it. And I feel and pray for a lot of those people because I've seen it all. Some of you might remember Zeke rewards back when. There's a couple other pyramid money reward things that happened fairly recently. Unfortunately, those people leave someone high and dry, or thousands of people high and dry. At the end of the day, if there's really no product that's crossing some merchant channel, right? An actual product or potentially a service that's actually got a service, at the end of the day, it's really hard to get buy-in. Not everybody has the same level of influence. That's why we teach people here a very simple system on letting people know and experiencing these products, and hopefully building your book of business, your consumers to be as wildly as big as you want over a period of time, right? Like consistently over a period of time. And Brandon said it. Maybe not everybody's in that big winning season, or maybe you're unfortunately comparing, your growth. I've done it too, to years prior and other things I've done in my past. It's really hard not to compare, right? Or compare to someone else. That's worse, right? Comparison is that real thief of joy, they say, right? So I think the biggest thing, for me is that I truly still to this day trust the ownership and the leadership that I have alongside of me. Now, I've trusted a lot of people in Q, council members, over the years. And some people, unfortunately, it is what it is. Kind of their time comes and goes, right? And that's okay. I always believe that it's not worth burning any bridges. So even when you have a team member that walks away or does something else, just remember that in the grand scheme of building a business, a lot of people will come back to you, especially when you are consistent over a long period of time with the same alignment and home, right? And that's really what I'm seeing with Brandon. I'm seeing him just skyrocket with new recruits and new people that have seen him be consistent, and his greatest wins are coming in Q, and so that's what brings me complete joy as well. And so anyhow, I know that we can't do anything alone or apart or individually. This is a team effort. So I'm really big on sharing yes, my vision for the company is for us to make a really big global impact. To me, my heart in my career started selling real estate. And when I started having babies, I opened my gyms and things or before my babies, I opened my gyms actually, but I started spending a little bit more time with my babies, when the gyms were very bustling. Is that a word? Bustling, hustle. I don't know. Anyways, they were busting at the seams. No, I don't know. I don't know. My brain is going into a weird place. I need more QMax right now. And, anyhow, so what happened was we started trying to work, smarter, not harder, of course. But the goal for having people walk through my gym doors were honestly just kind of like, I needed to make a difference in someone's health, or they weren't going to be around in a couple months to a year to maybe 2 years. I met with grandparents. I met with young parents. I met with college age students, athletes, professional athletes that were literally killing themselves without understanding why and how. There's so many people at risk for things that really are kind of skating by and through and just kind of doing one of these, like a Hail Mary, And I felt like I was put on this earth to kind of maybe educate and provide value with the health and wellness side of things. So when people would come in my gyms, I felt like I could make an impact. And it was for a great time. It was 13 years of my life that I owned those gyms. But then when somebody introduced me the power of network marketing, right? The power of online social sharing and selling, wow, that knows no boundaries and limits. Right. So I felt like I could make an impact on a greater scale, helping with health and fitness, in the UK. Or thank you, Lisa. I need somebody to validate I wasn't making up a word. Okay. My new BFF, Lisa Waywell. Okay. So although I do like making up words, or my brain does, I don't know. And so, when that power was ignited in me, I guess, in a way, like, you hold that power. You don't have to have a nutritionist license. You don't have to be a health and wellness expert, but you have to show people that you care about health. That's what Brandon was saying. Go on a walk, go to the gym. You don't have to be super uber fit, like, some of these amazing women that you look up to here in the team, right? The team leaders, my fellow council members here, like, you don't have to necessarily do those things. You don't have to be a bodybuilder, but you've got to have some sort of interest in improving your health so people can view you as someone that would like to genuinely improve theirs, right? And so anyhow, when I realized the power of network marketing, that has been a game changer, and it will always be, I believe, for me, because there's affiliate marketing and there's people that get paid for selling something online, and that's all wonderful, but there's no community, in actual fact. That's Abby's line. I spoke with Mr. Brian Haro the other day. He actually wanted to have a call, and he called me. I don't even know if Abby knows this. And he doesn't just call you. He has to FaceTime you. He doesn't care if you're driving. He doesn't care if you're on the toilet. He just has to see your face, right? So I'm talking to him face to face, and he's funnier than shit if you haven't met Mr. Brian Haro. I'm sure Abby is laughing every day, all day. Everybody needs more Brian in their life. We should have t-shirts made. But anyways, and he said something to me that really hit my heart. And that's probably why I'm still crying 3 days later. But he said, there's no place like Q when it comes to culture, when it comes to Jake and Mark having your back, Brandon having your back. We just have established something, I believe, that is truly special and unique in this industry. And unfortunately, people get distracted by wanting to go make a quick buck. And that's okay. I'm never going to fault someone for wanting to go make money doing something. Okay. First of all, I'm a businesswoman. I get it. But I also know the power of staying consistent and reaping a lot of the rewards and benefits that Brandon is now, that a lot of us have for standing the test of time. Right. So that's the one thing, Kayla had asked me to talk about, was she asked me to talk about staying the course, commitment, being consistent, and those three things that ironically are all C words. They're not F words. Brandon went through the F words. I'm going to go through the C words, apparently. But commitment, consistency, and staying the course. course. It's a course, right? Sometimes we forget that. Sometimes I had a leader come in a year ago. She had what I believe, I think a lot of people had success in a company elsewhere with a combination of maybe hitting the right timing of the company, the right timing of the expansion, the right timing with social media. There's a lot of things happening in 2015, 2016, where a lot of people just exploded in any company. I'm not taking anything away from Frank and I. We worked really hard, but we did get to kind of ride the coattails of something that was happening, right? That we were a part of. I'm not saying that we didn't work hard and we weren't great leaders, but I mean, we definitely caught the previous company at the right timing and speed and all that. But we also unfortunately saw it fall just as quickly as it rose. And I believe there's something to be said for being a part of Q, being a true piece of the fabric of Q, being consistent over a long haul, and being a part of the building blocks and bringing more building blocks into the table, person by person, brick by brick. We've talked about this over the years in Q. And that's really truly made the biggest difference, is having that slight adjustment in the mindset on staying the course, being consistent, being a business partner that can be trusted, by council members and owners and things like that. Like the one difference I would say is that, there's a strong kind of push for getting to as many events as you can. And the reason why we are so big with getting to events, because we know what transfers face-to-face, heart-to-heart in one single hug. It's the hardest thing to express in a virtual setting, And like, I have a friend who just was diagnosed pretty aggressive breast cancer. She has never missed one convention in 5.5 years. One of my first business partners I ever brought on board. If you have a personal relationship with Nikki Black, you could send her a message, because she's going in for a double mastectomy, and all she's thinking about is the fact that her surgery is right before a convention and she can't come to convention. I mean, that's how powerful our culture is, and our bonds and our connections, right? And to me, it just breaks my heart. I'm thinking, oh, this woman's going in for this crazy surgery. We've been friends for almost 20 years. And all she's thinking about is that she's not going to be able to hug Jake and Mark. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that is powerful, right? So I just believe we've got honest owners. They don't want to tell you what you just want to hear, sadly, but they do want to be open and honest every step of the way. I believe they've learned a lot as well in this industry with us. It's kind of like we've all been growing up together, if that makes sense. Sometimes they just say, hey, we don't know the answer. We got to get back to you, right? Like, I can appreciate that, because that is more powerful to me than ever being told, well, let's go spin this. Like, okay. I was on a Zoom today, several Zooms today, actually, leading up into convention. It's kind of a fun time, because so many bigger leaders are really being exposed for the first time to hopefully be flown in to take a look at Q. That's something you should really strategically work on. Any next big event that's a corporate event, this next convention upcoming, maybe someone in America that can physically come as a guest, right? I was on a Zoom with a man today who's built 125,000 person downline in his career, massive network marketing experience. And he's been looking for the right company for 6 years, because he doesn't trust anyone that he's met to bring his network that trusts him so much to his next project. And he's considering Q, ironically, because of the 5 years now that we've been able to show what we've been able to accomplish. Yes, that's huge documentation wise, but more importantly, it's the just black and white, blunt truth, the directness of, what he's been looking for, quite frankly. So I know we might not be for everybody, but I think we are for the people that want to see something different in this industry, that want to do it differently, right? We are open to suggestions. And I know it's been completely frustrating for some of your leaders to be working on things. There are, glitches when you change over to a new system. There are shipping things that are always going to be, it sounds like, just something, right? Right. But I do know that your leaders work really, really hard for you, because I see what happens in these chats, and I'm in a gazillion chats on things like that, right? Like the mechanics and the structure behind. And quite frankly, a lot of leaders can't hang with something like that, and do bounce when little things like that become bigger things and they kind of pile up. And some people wouldn't be able to handle that at all. So it's pretty amazing that your leaders have worked so hard behind the scenes on creating, this incredible beast of Q and this amazing machine. And I believe that we truly, in 10, 15, 20 years, will look back on these times as something that we just did not see coming. I really believe we will be $1 billion brand. There's no question in my mind whatsoever. Mark and Jake are the kind of people that just don't lose. I don't know how to explain it better than that. So as long as you're consistent over a long period of time, and you have to get honest with yourself on what your consistency looks like, because some people post on social media, and yes, I have been upping my social media game. I've got professional help. It's time. Because a lot of things I want to post, she's like, maybe we just keep that right here between us. Like, oh, okay. No filter Marielle cannot come out as much as I'd like to right now, as we experiment with growing a little bit more of my social media and growing events as well. I really believe the combination of the two is where it's at. So more face-to-face, more meetings. I invite people over to my house and I say, come on over for a shake. And I literally will blend somebody a shake. I know this looks like Monster drink here, or no, maybe like swamp water or something, but it's like delicious. And I crave it every day. And it's my ultimate shake. I do Q protein. So either any flavor that you want. I throw in collagen, greens, armor, brew, and the magical powder that I won't tell you that is coming very soon, that I know Mel knows, because I'm seeing her smiley face right now. But anyhow, I make this ultimate shake. I love it. And I invite friends over, and they are blown away every single time. I had a friend come over yesterday. She ordered 4 things on the spot. Like, I was like, yes, go me. Every little win counts and adds up. Today, she messages me and says, I have a couple of friends that also want to try stuff. What do I do? Right? You've got to meet people face to face, hear their needs. She had some pain happening. I said, come by my house. I'm going to hook you up with some stuff. You don't need to bring your money. Just come on over. I'm going to hook you up with some stuff. So I did give her stuff too. I said, you buy that. I'll give you samples of this. Don't buy this. I'll give you samples of this and then buy that. Right? So meeting face to face is incredible. Along with upping your social media and being consistent with the two. And really, again, being very honest with yourself on how many meetings you're having, how many interactions and conversations are you having. Being consistent with your activity changes everything. When you're speaking to, only 2 people in a 30-day calendar, that's going to, unfortunately, that means you don't really have a business, right? Like, if I only had 2 people that would have walked through my gym doors, or 2 people that would sit down and go through a nutritional plan that I was going to put them on, I might as well have been just doing it as a hobby, right? Like, just for fun. Or it would have been costing me money, more importantly, because of the insurances and licenses and things I had to have as a business owner. So I had to make sure I had new bodies walking through the gym and exercising, and new people on my nutritional plans and my detox plans and things like that. So there's no difference here, right? It's just that we're able to do a lot of this from home, from your computer. If you are only able, I saw a question earlier, if you're only able to build this truly from your computer and your phone, it will just be a longer, slower maybe process, but it still can happen. You have to build solid relationships online. You have to ask for Zooms. You have to communicate. You have to be interested in people's lives, genuinely, not faking it, because people can sense that, right? Like, if you see someone's post about their dog that's not feeling well, like, I message them privately. I don't even necessarily comment on the post. I might message them and say, I'm thinking of you. That's really hard. Like, our dogs are our children. Usually they're laying here in my office, but I think my son took them outside. But I mean, you know, they're like extra kids, right? So my heart goes out when I see things like that. So, you know, I will message them and say, is there anything that I can send you? Is there anything that I can help with? Right. So people, like Brandon said, people will know that you genuinely care by things like that, actions, right? So anyhow, this is what this business is all about, is really making sure that people feel that you care for them and you're not just trying to make a sale, if that makes sense. That's a big part of it. And then providing value on the back end. So are you consistently educating your customers? Are you educating your ambassadors to make sure that they are taking their collagen daily, their Q Max daily, their Q Core, whatever it is, right? Their shakes, their greens. Are you providing that to where they go, oh yeah, I can't forget that. This is a consumable based product line. So that's how it keeps you safe. When people feel better, they're going to keep buying products, and you've got a back end protection on your business. So I hope some of this resonated, helped. I don't want to talk too long. I'm not sure what time I was supposed to talk for. I think I've gone over, but anyhow, I appreciate you all hopping on your Saturday morning. It really means a lot to me that you take time out of your day. This team specifically means so much to me. I think that's why I'm so emotional. I just know how hard y'all have to travel to come over here. Also, I know it's not easy pioneering a country. It's funny when now I think when I see people saying we're pioneering a brand new country, I go, oh gosh, I can't even look at posts like that with any other company. I'm like, we've been there, done that. Now we've got a smooth track for everybody to smoother track for everyone to run on. We've been praying and waiting for these days, and they're here for you. You know, take advantage of them, be consistent. My mentors always told me, show up a year from now, show up 5 years from now, show up 10 years from now. You know, I would have been with my previous company to this day, as loyal as I am. And as I know that it makes smart business sense to stay the course, had they not lost all the rights to their products and other things that I couldn't control, and lots of deceitful things happening. That does happen in this industry. It's really, really sad. And unfortunately, a lot of people are getting preyed upon right now. It's a really interesting time in this industry. But again, I will stand firm in being a part of something where there's a lot of honesty and integrity and love, and grace and humility. I think some of the pompous, arrogant assholes have left the company by now. You know, and hopefully I can say that. And we're just really grateful for the good people that stay, that want to build us to $1 billion brand, you know, along growing our 5 Fs. So thank you all for this time. Thank you that you guys asked me to even share. And I look forward to hugging as many of you in person in 3 weeks. And for the first time ever, my parents and my sisters, and I think my mother-in-law, will be coming to the convention. None of them have ever seen my husband and I on stage or receive anything or do anything like that. One sister saw me train in my previous company, but I'm very excited for this personally. So it's going to mean a little bit more to me this go around.
Oh, girl, thank you so much. We freaking love you. You know how much we love you. Everyone's just like messaging, going, there she is, the raw Marielle. Like, and babe, like, honestly, you know, leaders go first, and you are one of the main reasons, you know, that the culture and consistency and, you know, honesty, truth, integrity, all the things that Q embodies, that's largely because of you and Brandon, Mark and Jake. And I know I, for one, we are so incredibly grateful for your leadership in going first and being the freaking rock star human that you are. And I can't wait to give you a big hug at conference. Love you. Awesome. And you know what, guys? This lady, you know, we're not all financially linked, right? But we're one big Q family. Marielle will just reach out to me. She reached out to me the other day and said, hey girl, I love you. I'm thinking of you. Hope things are okay. You know, that's just what this is about. And that's her heart right there. So guys, I'm excited. because this is week 1 of our 6-week masterclass. I want you guys to drop a 1 if this is you fired up and excited for next week. Okay, if you know that we brought the heat for you this week with Brandon and Marielle, imagine what the coming weeks are going to be. Okay, so we're excited to bring you next week the pocket rocket herself, the amazing platinum ambassador or business partner, International Advisory Council member, Mrs. Kayla Milner, and I will be joining her, and we will be talking all things. I don't know my topic. I was just gone blank. Kayla, what? I'm just gone blank. I'm like, I know what. Anyway, it will be fire. It will be fire. Trust me. I have all week to work on my topic. And you know what? She's laughing. Success, Sisters for Success. There we go. You know what? She's driving. She was supposed to close out. So I don't see. Look, I'll just make stuff up like Marielle does sometimes. But no, I love you guys and can't wait to bring to you next week Systems for Success. See, I got it. And how we can help you, I suppose, really create that consistency, right? Because systems create consistency, all right? You are then able to level up on your standards with systems, which then become habits, right? And that's really what we want to be able to work with you on next week. So I'm excited. We will see you next week. In the meantime, go and get it. I'm pumped for Monday/Tuesday's call for what Brandon mentioned Jake was going to release. So make sure you jump onto Q News and get that action. We love and appreciate you all. Thank you so much for spending your hour today with us. Bye, guys.